Hi, my name is Tara Parks, and I'm an adjunct instructor at Northcentral Technical College. On behalf of all your instructors this semester, let me say welcome. The Student Readiness course introduces skills and qualities expected of a student in the virtual college learning environment. It will explore various technologies used in virtual college learning, such as Blackboard, NTC, and other digital communication tools such as YouTube and Facebook. This class will also help prepare you to be a self-directed, active, and engaged learner in the virtual college classroom. Courses that are taught in these non-traditional delivery formats are great because they're flexible and they fit into students' lives. But because the formats and expectations might be new to some students, NTC has designed some training that will help you understand what to expect and how you can be successful in the virtual college classes. In Learning Plan 1, you'll learn about the different types of classes offered by NTC, such as traditional, blended, sometimes called hybrid, or online and virtual college classes. You will learn how these class formats are different, the ways in which they are similar, and what does it all mean to you. When you complete the Student Readiness training, you'll be enrolled in the virtual college program at NTC. If you understand what to expect from a course, what kind of course is right for you, and what you can do to be successful before you begin the semester, chances are you'll have a great learning experience. This video will review 3 key points: what students should know about virtual college courses, what technology is needed for success, and what skills are needed for success. So let's get started. To start with, let's start with a class format that's most familiar, the traditional or face-to-face class. This class is probably what you've experienced before. In a traditional classroom, students attend class on campus several times per week. Typically, a 3-credit class will meet for 3 60-minute periods per week, although some classes require extra lab time. Some 3-credit traditional classes meet twice per week for 90 minutes, while others may meet for 3 hours on one night. The bottom line is that a 3-credit course taught in the traditional face-to-face format will meet for its entire scheduled time each week in person. Because you're familiar with this type of course, you probably already know that you need to set aside time to attend class each week as well as do your homework outside of class. In other words, the traditional classes require students to set aside class time and homework time in order to be successful. Today, colleges all over the country are introducing a new type of course called a blended course. Some other schools, including NTC, use the term hybrid. Basically, this term means that the course material is presented through a blend of traditional class time and online time. At NTC, a typical 3-credit hybrid class will often meet for 2 60-minute periods per week and include 1 period of virtual college class time. Again, though courses may vary, this example is typical. Sometimes students who sign up for a hybrid class get confused. They see that a course meets in person for only 2 periods per week, and they assume the course requires less work than that of a class that meets 3 times per week. But that's not necessarily true. Students who enroll in a 3-credit hybrid course must still plan to set aside the appropriate class time per week plus time for homework. It's just that the class time in this situation includes 2 periods of face-to-face attendance and 1 period of online class time. Instead of coming to campus, the online class might ask you to complete readings, complete online activities, participate in online discussions, or more. The number of hours for class time or attendance are the same, about 3 60-minute periods per week for a 3-credit course. But students still need to set aside additional time for homework time outside of class. So far, we've learned about both traditional and hybrid courses. Now let's talk about online and virtual college courses. With the advancements in technology, NTC is able to offer fully online courses. Online classes are courses that are delivered completely online or virtually. There is no face-to-face meeting component. Online classes are popular with some students who have a hard time fitting traditional class time into their schedules, or for students who do not live near campus. Online courses are an ideal learning option in both of these situations. But if you're enrolling in a virtual college course, it's important to understand the expectations and the difference between online courses and virtual college courses. One common misperception about online learning relates back to the concept of class time. It's important to understand that just because online courses do not require students to attend class in a classroom, they are not easier, nor do they take less time. In fact, rather than taking less time, an online or virtual college class may actually require more time. Because a student in an online course must, in theory, set aside several hours per week of class time to complete online activities, research, discussions, and other assignments, plus time for homework, a student in an online class might spend more time per week than a student enrolled in a traditional or hybrid version of the same course. That makes sense because if you think about it, an online course requires that students do a lot of reading, and a lot of the work must be typed, including discussions. Those two activities take time and a bit of extra effort, so it's important that if you've signed up for an online or virtual college class, you understand the time commitment that will be required for you to be successful. So, how are online classes and virtual college classes different at NTC? There are several ways that online classes are different from virtual college classes at NTC. The first way that they are different is when students may register and begin a course. Online classes follow the same schedule as traditional face-to-face classes with some exceptions for our late start classes. Once the semester begins, you are not able to start an online class in the middle of a term. In virtual college, students can register for a class up until the end of the semester. Please note that the deadline for virtual college registration may change in the near future due to the newness of the program and based upon student and college needs. This option is great, however, because you don't have to wait a full semester before you begin classes. You can start when it's convenient for you. The second way in which online classes are different from virtual college relates to homework deadlines. Just like in a traditional face-to-face course, online classes have specific due dates for all assignments. Although you have some flexibility during the week about when you complete your assignments, there are deadlines and due dates that must be adhered to in order to pass the course. In virtual college, you will only have two deadlines. The first deadline is that you must complete one homework assignment within the first week of registration to be eligible for financial aid. Your instructor will indicate which assignment fulfills that requirement. It's very important that you complete that first assignment because if you miss the deadline, you could be dropped from the class and become ineligible for financial aid. Your second deadline in virtual college is to have all of the rest of your assignments, projects, and discussions completed by the last day of the semester. The benefit is that you can complete your class time and homework time during the hours of the day or weeks of the semester that work best for you. So that's a plus. Remember, virtual college courses are self-paced, so they are more flexible than traditional or online classes. But it's important to keep a consistent schedule to be successful. As noted previously, for financial aid reasons, your first assignment will be due within 1 week of your start date in virtual college. If you do not complete the first assignment, you will be considered a drop. Your first assignment for the Student Readiness course is the quiz you will take after watching the Learning Plan 1 video. All other assignments will be due by the end of the semester, but you must pass this course in order to be accepted into the virtual college program at NTC. Now that we understand the types of courses offered at NTC, let's take a minute to do some simple math. Students can typically set aside 1 hour of class time per week for each 3-credit course. So a 3-credit class will typically meet for 3 60-minute periods. Keep in mind that some classes, such as classes with a lab component, might require extra meeting times, but the average 3-credit course at NTC will include about 3 hours per week of class time. Now let's calculate homework time. The average college student can expect to spend at least 1 to 3 hours per week outside of class doing homework for every hour that is spent in class. So a course that includes 3 hours of class time will typically include at least 3 to 9 hours per week of homework time. Keep in mind, though, that's only an estimate. Some courses require more work and some may require less work. Or some coursework may be very easy for you while other courses will take extra time. Again, this is just an estimate. So what kind of time commitment are we talking about here? With 3 hours of class time and 3 to 9 hours of homework time, that's about 6 to 12 hours per week that you'll need to spend on every 3-credit class that you've enrolled in. As you can see by this following graph, it doesn't matter whether you're enrolling in a traditional course, a hybrid course, or a virtual college course. The time commitment is the same. While a virtual college course means that you don't have to travel to meet in a campus classroom, the course still requires class time. The graph above shows that no matter how you slice it, any course you take, virtual college, blended, or traditional, will require about the same amount of time. You cannot be successful in a course unless you are consistently attending class, whether in person or in virtual college. Being realistic about your schedule is the best way for you to increase your chance of success. Take a moment to pause the video and jot down your thoughts to the questions on the screen. You will use the answers to these questions in an assignment for Learning Plan 3. When you are finished writing down your answers, press play. Welcome back. After watching the first part of this video, you should have a pretty good understanding of how virtual college is different from online, hybrid, and traditional classes, and how they are the same. So let's talk about another requirement for being successful in a virtual college class. A student enrolling in a virtual college class must have reliable access to technology and have a basic understanding of how to use the technology in order to succeed. The online portion of a virtual college course is not optional, so students enrolled in these courses should have to plan to have a computer with a reliable internet connection. Additionally, because technology can fail, students should also have a backup plan. That's right, I said a backup plan. A plan B and C in case plan A fails. Let's think about that for a moment. If your computer failed at home, how would you complete your assignments? Take a moment to consider what your options would be. In Learning Plan 3, you'll have a chance to visit NTC's website and learn about the resources available to all students, including virtual college. For now, begin thinking about that backup plan. Finally, you want to make sure that your computer has enough memory and processing speed to allow you to easily access the course information you'll need to be successful. Videos use a lot of data, so make sure you have a connection with an unlimited data plan. Wi-Fi on your cell phone will not provide you with adequate data and internet speed to efficiently complete your assignments. So what are some of the standard components you'll need on your computer to be successful? If you've purchased your computer within the last few years, it's likely that it's up to date. Your computer should have the following components. You can spend as much or as little as you want on these. Most of the time they are standard with your computer. A keyboard, a mouse, a DVD drive, a sound card and speakers, a USB drive for storing your work, a webcam, and or access to an online storage cloud like Microsoft SkyDrive or Dropbox. When it comes to software, the actual programs you'll use to access virtual college and complete your homework are pretty simple. Again, if you've purchased your computer within the last few years, it's likely to have these software components, but let's quickly look at the list. First, you'll need an internet connection. Although a dial-up connection will work, we highly recommend that you have a high-speed internet connection. Many virtual college courses incorporate videos and or other materials that may not load well with a dial-up connection. Next, NTC uses the Blackboard course management system. Different browsers, such as Firefox, Internet Explorer, and Google Chrome, may have different levels of compatibility. NTC recommends using Firefox browser for all Blackboard submissions. Some browsers may have varying degrees of compatibility based on whether your computer is a PC or a Mac. Finally, most instructors ask you to have Microsoft Office installed on your computer. This program will allow you to access word processing programs, spreadsheet programs, PowerPoint, and more. All programs that you will need to use to either read or submit your coursework. The good news for you is if you don't already have Microsoft Office, thanks to NTC's software licensing agreement with Microsoft, NTC students can get a significant discount on Microsoft software like Office 2011 or 2013 with Microsoft Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint. This is literally hundreds of dollars of software at a radically reduced price. For more information about pricing and ordering, you can go to the Wisconsin Integrated Software Catalog. If you've been following along with the key terms in this lesson, you may be saying to yourself, "Oh, I have the time to be successful in my classes, and I have the technology to be successful, so what's next?" That brings us to our final point, making sure that you match your particular skill set with the type of learning that's right for you. Let's consider what that means. On one hand, you'll find that most successful students share a few common traits that apply no matter what kind of course they are taking. For example, most instructors report that students who attend class time regularly and stay engaged, who really focus on learning and on applying themselves, do very well in their classes. As you can see by the chart on your screen, there are simply some characteristics that all types of successful learners share. On the other hand, there are some skills and traits that students have that can work better in certain learning environments. Experience tells us that students who do well in virtual college and blended classes have all the basic traits of a successful learner, plus a few other traits that help them do well in the virtual college environment. For example, some students learn well by reading, while others have a hard time. Some students need to hear concepts in order to really understand them, but in a virtual college course, much of the material is delivered via text, which may require more reading than a traditional course. So, students who have a hard time reading might not do as well in a virtual college course. As another example, some students work well on their own. They can manage their time and do not procrastinate or leave things until the last minute. Those students might do well in the virtual college world, where students have to stay self-disciplined and keep themselves on task. Students who do procrastinate, though, might do better in a traditional classroom, where they meet several times per week and can more easily stay on schedule. As a practical matter, students who enroll in a virtual college course will do more typing. All of the assignments, discussions, and questions to the instructor will be typed. So, students who do not type fairly quickly will have to plan on investing more time to complete their work. While there is no definitive list of characteristics that a student must have to be successful in the virtual college classroom, experience tells us that some traits are pretty common. In the end, if you've thought realistically about your schedule and you know you have access to the technology that you'll need to be successful, along with a backup plan, and you feel good about your own specific skill set, then you are likely to be successful in your first virtual college course at NTC. If you have any questions, though, or feel that maybe the virtual college classroom is not for you, then please contact your virtual college advisor to determine if you can switch to a face-to-face or traditional version of the same class. After all, you want to choose the learning environment that is right for you. That's how you will be successful. In Learning Plan 3, we will review some of the NTC learner resources available online and how you can access them. Thank you for completing this portion of Learning Plan 1. Now you're ready to take a brief quiz to help us ensure that you understood all the material presented. You may now close this video and return to the Learning Plan section of Blackboard to complete the quiz portion of this training. Once you complete the quiz for Learning Plan 1 and earn a 100%, you'll be able to access Learning Plan 2 in the Student Readiness course.